Hello everybody, I know it's been a few days, and I've been kind of silent. Some of you know what's been happening behind the scenes, and some of you may not. Unfortunately, I lost my account. It had nothing to do with my RMI, EA, or any expert advisor for that matter. I actually manual traded my account to death. And what happened was I was in a basket on the pound Canadian dollar, right? And this was from the RMI expert advisor, and I was a little bit worried about it because the basket was on the short side, right? It was a counter trend trade during a lot of positivity coming out of Brexit negotiations, and so my immediate reaction was, I got to get out of this basket, or I'm going to get into some larger drawdown because of what news is coming out with about the Brexit, and it's going to cause my RMI EA to go into higher drawdown. And so that fear kind of hit me, and I wanted to try to do a high risk trade so I could close out all of my negative basket trades from the RMI strategy. Now this was a mistake. And the reason why this was a mistake is because, one, I'm not trusting my strategy to be able to handle a situation like this when it's been handling it for years and back tests showing that it's able to trade through high news events like this. Yes, this is a pretty substantial event, but still there will be cutbacks, and I just didn't follow through with that. So I entered a hedge. And it was a big hedge. It was a 10 lot hedge on my trades that were 0.4 lots, and I think I had like five of them or so in at the time. What happened? Well, I entered the 10 lot trade and closed it out. My expert advisor closed it out. Take profit expert advisor closed it out very quickly. I made like $200. Wasn't enough obviously to close out the trade, so I entered again. And this one was another 10 lot trade right here. And you can see pullback happened. And it was actually a pretty substantial pullback, and I just was wrong. I was wrong on thinking that this would continue at that point. It didn't. It shot down pretty quickly. I entered a second 10 lot trade in hopes to hedge this out, and I thought this was a decent area for a pullback to happen or a continuation of the trend. I was wrong again. So what happened? I decided that, okay, well, maybe this is the time for a good pullback, and I'm already in pretty substantial loss at this point. I think it was about $3,000 or so from these two trades. So the best thing would have been to do at that point is to say, all right, my hedge didn't work out, and I should stop trading. No, I decided to keep going. This is a video to show you guys what not to do in trading. You know, I've come up with a lot of I feel like a lot of good advice, but I did not follow my own advice when I started making these trades. I broke all my rules. I turned into basically a noob trader. After 11 years or 12 years of trading, I had the biggest loss I've ever had in, I think it's been about 8 years. I lost $17,000. $17,000 in a matter of a few hours, and it basically killed all of my progress that I've made, which was about 180% or 160% in about a year. This time last year, and actually I think it was November during the election, I actually lost 60% of my account, but still I still had 40% left and was able to recover that over time. This time I actually lost 95% of my account, and you can see I only have 1,000 left, 1,088. So this is a video of what not to do. Now I'm probably going to get a lot of people saying, "Oh, you're such a noob trader. Why take high risk trades? I told you that if you took high risk trades in the past, you're going to do it again. It's inevitable." You know, and the things that I struggled with were, number one, greed. Two, not trusting my expert advisor to pull me out of a a big news event like this when it's been tested to do so. And maybe a little bit bored because of letting my expert advisor take control of my account and make profit, and it's been doing very well. And maybe I got a little bored wanting to really make something out of my manual trades, so I somehow feel more important when it comes to manual trading, since a lot of it's expert advisor. So a bad combination of things, unfortunately. And I know that a lot of you guys are watching too, and so it's been difficult to actually make this video because of that. Sorry, I have something in my eye. But I thought it was important because a lot of us do this kind of thing, especially at a high leverage broker. And this Trader's Way is a 400 to 1 leverage, and I wouldn't have been able to do this at Iota with the 50 to 1 leverage. It would have been a lot more difficult to lose this kind of money so quickly. But I guess it's still possible. So you can see where I entered on the short position and was looking for about 20 or so pips down. In this trade, now it gets even worse. This trade was a 20 lot trade. Yeah, that was a 20 lot trade down there. I was looking for about 20 pips to make up the previous loss and close out my basket of RMI EA's basket. And it went down, I think it went down about 10 pips. Yeah, it was about 15. I think I was looking for about 30 or so pips to get out of that, out of this whole thing. I was real close. This moved about 15 or so pips, and just didn't, and it had an abrupt push back up. So again, wrong. And then I entered again on the long position, and ended up pulling that one out quickly when that was a mistake. Went short again. As you can see, closed out for a loss. Went long, shot up, got scared, closed out. Went long again, got scared, closed out. Went long again, and this time I held a bit longer and closed out. And just before it, yeah, it did shoot around for a little bit, but then it went back up. And this was, I think I was getting smaller on my trade, so it was a 15 lot trade, and it was basically my last resort on making a big trade. Closed out all at the wrong times. I couldn't have traded worse. It really made me pushed me back to the days of back in 2009 or 10, where I was completely emotional trading, where when things got scary, I would close them out. When I would hit smaller profit, I would close them out, in just the big fear that went along with it. So this was just a really bad day of trading, and it was just huge mistakes made all over the place. Lost my account. It was really hard on me, and I had to tell my wife too, and because she knows that I've been trading. This is what I've been doing for most of my day for the last year, and I just basically threw it all away in a matter of hours. And I was trying to figure out why, and so it took me a few days to figure that out, and that's why I'm doing this video now. So, where am I moving on from here? I only have $1,000 left. Well, there's no way I can push $1,000 back into 20, right? It's going to take a long time, years potentially. So I asked my wife, "What do you want me to do? Do you want me to quit trading? Do you want me to start over? What do you feel comfortable with me doing?" Because obviously we're a team. This is what we do. I can't just go off on my own, try to borrow some more money or something to make this work. This has to be something that is agreed to upon marriage, because we obviously have a shared bank account, and it's important for me to be on the same page. So what I did, she was extremely understanding with everything. And I was surprised. I thought she was gonna file for divorce because of losing that much money and so quickly. And she didn't. She came back to me and said, "I'm sorry about this, but you did make some withdrawals, and we were able to see some of those profits that were made. you did lose more than you withdrew, but we were able to take advantage of your trading during the last year. So she said that from here on out, she wants to be my client. So basically, I'm going to be trading and making sure that my account is steadily making profits in the safest possible way. And she will add to the account over time. It's something like $500 each month throughout the year when I have a profitable month. So bottom line is that will be if I have a profitable month every single month, which is possible, I guess, over the next year, that I'll have $6,000 added to the account plus all the profits that I'm making. I should be around $10,000 to $15,000 profit if things turn out to be, I have a really good year of 2018 with very few losing months. I should have $10,000 to $15,000, and that includes balance and profit. So, and that will be her money, basically, is what she's saying, is because she's the investor and or the client, and I'm the trader for her. I think it's an interesting idea, and it will help me to stay on track a little bit better, because she says basically if I mess up and take really stupid manual positions, that she won't support me in trading anymore at that point. And if she doesn't support me in trading, then obviously I have a big problem. And I love my wife, so I do want to continue this. Trading is my passion. She's my passion as well. And so I want the best of both, and so that's why I want to try to make this work. So you can see all my crappy positions. This is going to be an awful reminder of a wasted year, all in a matter of a few hours. So the moving forward with the account is sticking with 1,000. She might add a 500 each month, and then we'll go from there. I'm hoping to achieve at Trader's Way. I'll stay there 10, maybe 15% per month using my strategy. And I was trading for a buddy, but I have recently stopped doing that so I can concentrate on my manual trades. But this is what happened with a similar sized account. Now it says it still has $100 left in it, but originally it was a $1,000 account, 10%, and it received a 9.22% increase over the month of November. It traded basically about 3 weeks out of the month, so that would have been closer to 10 to maybe 15% with the extra week added. Alright, so that's what I can expect on the account, and you can see that it was achieved with just 5.75%. So the recent modifications that I made to my RMI strategy are good, and I'm hoping that they will continue in this manner. Okay. Alright, so I'm also doing a little extra things on the side. And I'm going to get into that now. I'm hoping that this video is not going to be too long, maybe another 15 minutes. So you can see that I always have a ton of tabs at the top. Now, you guys remember me talking about cryptocurrency back a while ago. It's been quite a few months. And the reason why I haven't talked much more about it is because this is more of a Forex trading kind of video blog. But it's also, me and my progress of how things work. Actually, to back up just a second, I am still in talks with Robert about trading his account of $120,000, right? I since removed that account from my FX book. I've also removed my personal account as well, and I'm just going to start building my track record again, and you guys will be able to see that. I'm probably going to lose some subscribers because I'm not trading as much money as I used to be. But this will be about growing a small account, adding to it each month till it gets to something substantial. And it will take time, and I'm willing to put in the time and the patience to make that happen. With Robert, I'm not really sure yet. We're still in talks to see if I'm going to continue on his account or not, but I will keep you posted with that. All right, so back to cryptocurrency. Now, cryptocurrency is on a huge, it's blowing up. Now, it would be crazy if you guys haven't heard about it in the States or anywhere in the world, because it's just been getting so much press, and ever since Bitcoin hit 10,000, it's been all over the place. So, what about all these other hundreds and thousands of cryptocurrencies that have come out? Are any of them going to be able to compete with Bitcoin? Honestly, I don't know. I think that it's possible that some may, and but I do think that cryptocurrency is going in a direction where it may overtake the current financial markets, where, for example, the current currency as we know it could adapt or change. Like, for example, the U.S. dollars. Who knows? Maybe in the future, 10, 15 years down the road, we're using cryptocurrency as our currency instead of actual U.S. dollars or euros or pounds. But a lot of people are saying that cryptocurrency is now becoming too substantial to actually be in a bubble anymore, and that it's gaining enough traction to make big changes to how currency is adapted and used. So I've been looking at, and I invested in Bitcoin back in 2016 through a cloud mining service called Genesis Mining. They're still going, but I invested $1,000 or so when Bitcoin was about $750. Now they're still paying me, and I've made about 300% profit. But if you guys look at it, and if I invested directly into Bitcoin, I would have made 1,000%. So it was hard for me to actually trust Bitcoin back then, but I have been watching, and actually since 2013. Just never really got to the point of getting enough guts to buy into it until 2016. All right. So what's with cryptocurrency, and what am I currently doing with it? Now, I have a little bit of Bitcoin, and it's kind of scattered about. But what I'm looking at is Iota. I mentioned this back 3-4 months ago in Iota. Now, if you guys remember, in that video, I showed you that I got in back when it was on August 19th. Now, I was starting to make a bit of a push on August 19th. You can see that it was 85 cents, and I think I was in on the 20th. Yeah, I was in on later on the 19th, when it was actually at 93 cents, or around 95. So right around that point, when it was starting to make a push up, and I thought that it would continue, but it was a bit too early, and Bitcoin made a bit of a pullback, and Iota did in particular, and then it dropped down to 30, 40 cents, and I was like, all right, well, this is probably not going to work out, but I'm just going to hold on to it anyway. And look what happened. It shot up to $2.48, and that's where it currently is now. And yeah, 250 there. But it's gone up so much. That's a almost. I'm almost about to hit a 200% profit. Now, I didn't have that much put into it. I had $695 put into Iota back at 93 cents. And now, I'm just going to round it out. But if I do 695 times $2.50, that's $1,737. Now, that's not anything to cry home about, or to feel really awesome about it as well. But the idea is to hold this longer term. Now, if this is the next Bitcoin, Iota, then maybe it could go to a few $100s or 1,000 or maybe even someday 10,000. So what is it about Iota that is so different than any of the other cryptocurrencies out there? Well, if you look at the Iota website, you'll see that it actually has a different type of technology than Bitcoin does. Bitcoin uses a technology called blockchain. It has to do with the miners confirming the transactions for the people that are making the transactions or sending the money. So there's kind of a two-step process. But Iota uses a different type of technology called the Tangle, which doesn't have any fees. It's instant, and the transactions are limitless on how many can be done each second. Now, the problems with Bitcoin is that since it uses blockchain, only about 4.5 transactions can be done every second, which is still a lot. But if you're comparing that to like Visa, MasterCard, and even some of the other blockchain cryptocurrencies that are going on right now, it falls a bit short. And so what happens is when Bitcoin gets more popular, because the transactions are so low, that means per second, it means that your transactions over the longer term, once it gets more popular, are going to take more time. And it's going to take longer for your transactions to confirm because of how slow the Bitcoin blockchain actually is. Now, since Iota is instantaneous, and there's no fees involved, that means that it's endless. There's endless possibilities. You can look at the details. I'm not going to get into the details of how exactly Iota works. This is kind of just an introduction to get you, I guess, your feet wet with what I'm taking, what step I'm taking with this cryptocurrency. Now, Iota is still pretty new, and you can check out their website. You can watch some YouTube videos about the Tangle and how that works and why it's better than blockchain, and why Iota over the longer term, once it gets more popular, will scale much better than Bitcoin. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to overtake Bitcoin, and if it does, it's going to take so many years to do so. That is, if any of the cryptocurrencies actually survive. So my idea is to hold most of my Iota until it hopefully reaches around $100, and then reevaluate at that point to see what happens. But it could take years to do so. But if you guys look and you do the math, and right now it's $2.48, but my $695 that I invested back to when it was about $1, if it goes up to even $1,000, that's $695,000. So if you're able to find a cryptocurrency that's low enough cost but has a lot of potential, then you could really turn a small investment into something huge, like the people did with Bitcoin back in 2009 and 10 when it was just barely arriving to the market. So guys, that's where I am now. I will maybe add some to Iota over the next few months, but it needs to be under $5 for me to do so. Otherwise, I'm not so sure I will continue to add to it. But I'm happy with where it's going. So far, it's been a good choice with almost a 300% increase in value since I got involved about 4 months ago. All right. So the next video that I'm going to do, I'm going to talk a little bit more about how to actually get involved in cryptocurrency, so you guys can follow along, or spread out your portfolio, because I know a lot of you just want to trade Forex or something. That's what a lot of you guys watching my video for. But maybe it's good to start expanding into certain different areas of the market that are emerging. So good places to look into are exchanges, to find a place to, now what am I looking for? Right here. A good place to do that is at Gemini.com. Gemini is a place where it's an exchange where you can change US dollars into Bitcoin or vice versa. And you can also withdraw and deposit from your bank account. So it's a great place to get involved in when trading cryptocurrency, because it makes it much more simple. All right, so I'll talk a little bit more about that in my next video. But that's pretty much all I wanted to talk to you guys about today. You know, unfortunately, I suffered a lot of losses. It took me a few days to bounce back, and now I'm trading just a measly little $1,000. But I'm going to trade it very carefully. I have to stop trading manually, especially with large lot sizes. And that has to do a lot with the broker, with the greed, my emotional state, and I have no excuses for that. If you guys want to beat me down, you can do that if you like. It's, you know, I probably deserve a little bit of it, but take what I've said. If you've enjoyed this video, take what I've said and use it so you don't fall into the same trap. Try to set boundaries for yourself. If that means switching brokers to give yourself less leverage, do so. Or if you need something to kind of watch your back, like my wife, for example, to make sure that I'm in control of everything, take those steps so you can have a better chance of succeeding and not throwing away all of your hard work in a matter of hours, which anybody can technically do when it comes to trading. Well, guys, it's been a rough weekend, but I feel like I'm bouncing back okay. It's helped that my cryptocurrency investment, even though it's very small, but that it's taking off. It's given me a little hope in my actual calls when it comes to what I think is a good investment. Now, when it comes to risk and manual trading and risk management, I still need some work on that, and that's why it's best for me to continue to work with my expert advisors to make them better, so I don't risk my taking over my account like I just did and losing everything. So yeah, I'm not that great of a manual trader, I admit it, but I do have the skills in creating a very successful expert advisor that does all the heavy lifting for me. So with that, on that note, I hope to see you guys next time. I'm not sure when the next time I'll have an update, but I'm hoping to do at least one a week, so to keep you guys involved with the progress and what's happening. Hope you guys have a good rest of the week, and I will see you next time.